Yes, Charles.
I think yesterday I was a little confused. I thought an integrated model of therapy was to take all the therapies, find the best bit of each, and then create a unique model of therapy. And now I'm getting the idea. And my observations from this weekend, a lot of different speakers on different therapies are already starting to form relationships and working together and sharing ideas. I think even as we were all sitting and listening to the speakers, we could see that there was some crossover from each of the different therapies. There was something that seemed to be very similar amongst two or three of them. So I think what you're trying to do is already starting to happen naturally as a result of your work creating this forum. In terms of a suggestion, one of the things that I think you need to consider is when this team is together, what has to happen for you to know that it's successful? I mean, at what point is it considered a successful integration of these team members?
Yes, the clients are the ones who are going to decide that. So I see this also working out completely naturally as a natural progression. When a team has got certain ideas and they see we will work this way, right? If it's a really good thing that is working in that location for that mindset of people, you will find more and more people coming in and the team getting more clients and it becoming a stronger and bigger operation. When those set of ideas are not good for that place and for that community and all of that, less and less number of people will come and automatically the therapists are going to say, either they're going to introspect and say, okay, what we're doing is not working, or they're going to stick by it, this is what we do and this is what we do, and there's going to come a day when they say, okay, we can't make it work, the money's not coming in, the people are not coming in, so automatically it dries up.
Is it purely a business model by the number of clients, or is it going to be measured on the rate of cured clients?
Yes, so this detail is also there in the article in the magazine where, there's a lot of reporting on each client, like the center has to keep the client log and register and some amount of information. Now this is also dynamic. If a team is going to work really professional and keep all these logs with them, and kind of pass on the information to the parent body, then we as a parent body see, all this coming in, and that's how much we give back. So team is going to be really successful and they'll see support from other teams and, people in the organization. When they start doing something really well, which works, and where there's data and there's evidence of people healing. And part of this research is also going to our team, our core team, to understand on a statistical basis which are the therapies that are having a higher rate of success. Yes, question.
Does it need to be a team?
Okay, what would you call something that's not a team but still working? So what would that be?
Well, in the interest of taking baby steps and actually having it work, what would you say is simply connecting a set of suitably competent individuals under one roof to simply have at the outset choice of disciplines available in one space that the individual can gravitate towards according to their needs or wants or whatever. As long as you take the time to make sure that you're bringing the right kind of person under the center, there's always room within that for group consultations, multiple assist, etc. And over time, I imagine that this will evolve into something that becomes more naturally cooperative. But what's wrong with simply having individuals, competent individuals, set up effective practices, and simply acquiring a reputation for being an organization that's reliable in terms of the practitioners' work habits and
Yes. So that anybody that any set of people can do. Many sets of people have already been doing a group coming together. That is a few set of people competent in certain therapies, which may not cover the four modalities what I mentioned. That's what you are getting at.
No, that's not the four modalities.
Okay, covering the four
At
modalities.
the outset, they don't necessarily need to work in that condition.
Okay.
There's no problem that practitioners setting up on the particular specific environment. And that center needs to simply establish a reputation
Yes.
for having competent people working there.
Right.
So whether somebody wants to say, I'm not yoga or for chronic healing or not just for jobs, whatever,
Yes.
whoever works there works out relatively satisfying.
Yes.
And then cooperation among each individual. How about somebody who's got an emotional issue, talk to me, but I'm actually a chiropractor.
Right.
Not necessarily say, go to Charles, go to
Yes. Yeah. So we typically see a person coming to this kind of center, a person coming with the problem, not with a recommendation, okay, I need pranic healing, or okay, I need yoga. I mean, that is respected. All healers, therapists, will respect somebody walking in the door and saying, this is what I need.
do the patients respect you. Sorry?
Yeah.
Do your potential patients necessarily respect you?
Yeah, that is depending on patient to patient.
No, but actually, like I was saying earlier,
Yes.
the issue is that we are aware that a whole bunch of people with the shingles without adequate work on themselves. There's a whole bunch of people who just believe. You come across so many people who just believe they have this innate connection to the infinite, and regardless of any actual work they've done on themselves, they've got it. Okay, and that's not the kind of person who you want to trust your life or your well-being to. Okay. Now, the problem with alternative healing is not that it doesn't work or that it's bullshit. It's just that there are so many people exploiting it for personal gain, giving it a really bad rap. And perhaps your fundamental issue is not how to get a bunch of people to work together, or how to define your diagnostic process, or how to miraculously improve your success rate. It's simply to establish a reputation for reliability, okay, just to be trustworthy. So I'd say, if anything, the first thing that you want to do is transparently establish a process for testing and verifying that the practitioners working with you under your roof are actually capable of delivering outcomes. Okay? All you want is for people to be reasonably certain that they can walk into this outfit at narrow grounds, and one way or the other going to walk out better, not be chipped.
Yes, that's a wonderful, very valid point of view, and that is what we will look at. And I think that's the way to go, that there has to be some process regarding this. Although I know from discussions of our other groups as well, these points were taken up, and it does take a certain amount of time and effort to do all of that, and so it has to be done. Yes. Thank you for your suggestion. Yes, Dr.
What I'm going to comment on is based on my experience as a public health consultant. And over years, I have implemented projects. And when we implement projects, we start with a pilot project. We pilot something. And then we look at the outcomes. We see whether we've attained all our objectives. And once we've done that, we pilot and we take it to a bigger group of people. Again, we assess if we've reached outcomes, if we've attained our objectives, and then taking the success rate, we then make it a blanket thing and say, now the country does it. Because we've done our homework. So here what I suggest is that we have a model. We have a model which is on paper. Now, every city can pick that model and try it out. Like the suggestion that you gave. Somebody else does it another way, and someone else does it another way. And then we come back and we give it a timeline. It cannot be on forever. So you give a timeline, say of 6 months or 1 year, run the pilot, come back, present, do your SWOT analysis, that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats of that entire project, present it, and then see if it is sustainable. And this whole thing of benchmarking, because whatever we give out, whatever we deliver, it has to be standardized. We cannot be giving out, substandard stuff, because it's coming from a space where we want to make this sustainable. It's not a one-time exercise we're doing and then we're dancing and then we're saying, oh no, now this won't work. It's not like that. It doesn't happen like that. So whenever any new project is written for the country, the National Planning Commission actually puts a project just like this, putting it on paper. And then we pick up certain districts where a pilot is done, the pilot is run, we find out what are the results. Based on the results, it is then expanded to a few more districts. Because every district and every place is different. How the people will view this integrated model in Goa may be very different how they view it in Mumbai. Or maybe how they view it in Colaba of Mumbai will be very different how they view it in the Borivali of Mumbai.
Talk about the perils of acquiring a bad reputation.
Absolutely. Yes. So we work on this. There is a lot of work that needs to go into this. So we need to put things on paper first, have clear objectives, what is it that we wish to attain. And like Charles says, are there outcomes attached to this? Are we working towards an outcome? What is the cure rate for if this is my clinic, say for example, this is my center, what is my cure rate? You actually do statistics and statistical analysis. And that, I think, will make it more authentic, maybe even to the medical fraternity.
Of course, you don't cross 50% mortality, do you?
Yeah. No, we won't. I don't think so. Yeah, but another point that I also wanted to make was on doctors being part of this. Now, me being a doctor, coming from that field and also being now healer and therapist, so I've seen both sides of this. There are quite a few doctors who are aware and who are into healing modalities, even though they're allopathic, Ayurvedic doctors. We need to find them. Like that. We need to find them. They are our allies. We need to have them on board with us and start from there. Because the ones who won't even look at you will never look at you. They're not ready for it. So we find the allies, work with 2 or 3 therapists and the doctor, form a team and begin the work. Once we begin the work, and then you see how it goes, how it unfolds. Maybe it's a model which will never work, or maybe it's a model which will work.
Yes. I'm not being negative about this.
No, absolutely.
It would be a good idea to start these foundations carefully established from the ground.
Absolutely.
So that there's nothing shaky about how you're building it.
Right. No, there is a way of doing it. We've done it. I mean, every program in the country has done that way. Even if you run a pulse polio campaign, it doesn't become a country campaign unless it was done in a small slum first.
So I'm simply saying that with done healing practitioners, it's a more difficult process to figure out whether you're working with the right person.
Yeah, exactly. But this is your perception, assumption. It's an assumption. It's a hypothesis, right? Even the whole model is a hypothesis. We work towards it. We find out what it gives us. Maybe what it's giving out is something that we want, or maybe it's giving out something that we don't want, and we still have the model. We don't know what will happen unless we do it. We got to do it. Right now we're just talking about it.
The point is simply that if you're working in the right way, you will get results.
Exactly.
You will walk away happy. There's no question of it.
So let's do the pilot.
There's no issue about whether it will succeed or not.
So let's do the pilot and see that. That's what I suggest.
Yes, so the pilot can be something big, planned at the government level and all of that, which takes a lot of time. What I see, the reality is that pilots are already going on. There are some happening in Asylum. There are 3-4 people here and there working all together. So what I'm seeing is those people who are doing it right, they are flourishing, right? So that's the way to start. Yeah, and of course, this is the proper large-scale way of looking at it and doing it also, and this is what we should do, right? But it certainly does not stop us from starting working at it tomorrow itself, right? Yes, a question.
How do you trust the authenticity of alternative treatment certificates compared to medical certificates?
Yes, this question also is answered in our text, which is that we are not, as of now, this policy may change, because we're just starting out and we still have to get the people all over the place to do this. So as of now, we are saying that we are not verifying those paperwork or those degrees or all of that. There is no verification process. Deciding in one part of Bombay for a team working in West Kandivali, who are those 4 people and are they technically qualified on paper or not. We are not doing that because we see also the practicality, not only the difficulty of doing it. If something is difficult, we got to do it for a good reason, we got to do it. But we see the practicality that there are many people who are not having those big degrees and qualifications, and they are being flooded by clients because they are very successful therapists. They are healing people.
I would simply pay more attention to certificates and rely purely on assessment and testing.
Yes, yes. So that is also a very valid thing. And overall, this is my personal opinion, which I have also impressed to our core team, is that the results speak. So I will always work with those people who are giving results, sustainable results, positive all the time, and getting great feedback from clients. Yes. Now I will pass on to Feli. We have overshot our time, but I'm very happy with it because wonderful suggestions and in-depth discussion is happening here. So enjoying it.
Thank you. Finally, I got the microphone. Actually, I wanted to say many things, but from the time it just passed on to all the people, and then you all do, most of my things have already been said. So, I would suggest taking the opportunity of the situation. Really, congratulations for you and for everyone that you gave us the opportunity and the platform on the one ground that all of us can come and share on the holistic and the spiritual way of mind, body and soul, and sharing the knowledge. It's really good. And what I would like to suggest is that more often we should create the awareness of at least the basic of yoga, meditation, whatever. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a healer, I'm not a doctor either, but as you were discussing about the certification, how do we justify that person is good, and it's really based on the certification. Like when I started about yoga or meditation, that is around 3 years back, started giving my therapeutic session. Of course, the question is to come to me also, like the authorities would ask me, from which institute do you pass out your yoga, or from which university you got your meditation course. I don't know who was the yogic science was passed their any certificate. But during the process of time, what I experiment on my therapeutic session, which involves yoga, meditation, dancing, breathing techniques and relaxation, and which I tried it, experimented on orphanage, old age, corporates, and many government offices based on their suppressed energy, on schools and colleges where there was a more of suppressed energy, and I tried it, and success rate was when I could interview the students and they could share their views on each and every ground. That was my success. I don't say that achieved something. My point is, why don't we share the basic things of this holistic approach to the schools and colleges, so it grows along and we don't have more of those things back of the mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Feli. For those of you who missed Feli's session yesterday, let me tell you that you really missed something. Was it not the most energetic and fun session? Yeah. Okay, so thank you panelists for your contribution, and thanks to everyone here also for